Hi, and welcome to my channel, Laura's Library Card. It is Friday, December the 8th. It is evening, and I am going to film a little bit of a weekend vlog with hopefully some fun B-roll and some reading for the Reindeer Readathon. That would be great, because I have not been really on top of things so far, and it's been rough. I have planned out a whole, TBR, and I kind of hate my TBR, so I'm going to try to figure out if I can mood read and make the books that I am mood reading fit the prompts. We shall see. I will take you along with me as I start diving into making dinner, and I think I'm going to listen to the audiobook. I started the audiobook yesterday or the day before. It is John Stamos's memoir, which is called If You Would Have Told Me, and that would fit 5+ words in the title, but I have never in my life managed to finish a memoir. So we shall see how this goes, but I think I'm going to work on that audiobook, and after dinner probably just relax a bit and probably start an ebook, but I will tune back in when I have something to say. So enjoy some B-roll. Hi, sorry. Also, I don't have a tripod that will look straight down, so you're going to get some shaky hand cam. But I wanted to very quickly show that I bought this beautiful notebook that I intend to use for my reading journal for 2024. It is a Rhodia. It's got this sort of, it feels sort of leathery as the cover, but it's not real leather actual, but it's called the Goal Book. It has a lot of pages. It has over 200 pages. They are dot grid. It is very ivory colored, almost beige colored paper, but it's dot grid, which I like. It comes with a pen closure and an elastic that'll go around the front and 2 ribbons of 2 different colors. And one of the reasons why I chose this is because it has a table of contents option in the front, which I use for for an index. And it also has this calendar, year at a glance kind of situation. I don't know if I'm how I'm going to use that at the front, but it does also have the months, just a blank space for you to write in. And so I was thinking I could do monthly roundup stats or something here before I just dive in, but I wanted more pages for 2024, and I hope to kind of do more mood board stuff with my reviews. So let me know down in the comments if you would like to see anything about my reading journals, which I don't think I've ever shared on my channel. Here's one. That's the one that currently exists. Ooh, ah. Not my most flattering angle, but hello. I am tuning in because it is Saturday morning. I did not film an update last night because I could not keep my eyes open, but I have read and finished I don't know, is that reversed for you? It is From Cocktails to Sleigh Bells by Wren K. Morris. I actually heard about the second book in this little series by Wren K. Morris first, and then this book that I just read is only 87 pages, so I read that one first, and it's a delightful little holiday novella where our main female character of Nicole has run into Kris Kringle, who is Santa. He is he delivers presents as well as a number of other people. It's like a whole corporation, a team. He's just the Santa Claus. He's the CEO. And the other people who help deliver presents on Christmas Eve are Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, etc., etc. So it felt really appropriate for Reindeer Readathon, and I am really in the mood to read some holiday titles, which is partly why my TBR was not appealing to me. So yeah, this was a quick little novella at 87 pages. It is definitely mature and adult and steamy. It was fun. It is kind of insta-love, which is not my favorite, but I thought that this was really charming and fun. And they don't say I love you at the end of the very, first night. They're just acknowledging that there's this connection between them, which I thought was great and well done. So this was awesome for me to read, and I might just go ahead and dive right into the next book by Wren K. Morris in this series, which is also Christmassy themed, and that's sort of the vibes I'm going for, but I'll keep you posted when I tune in next. Oh, I forgot to tell you what prompts for Reindeer Readathon I could use From Cocktails to Sleigh Bells for. I could use it as 5+ words in the title. I could potentially use it as set in a place I've never been, because I've never been to the North Pole. I could also use it for multiple points of view, but I think I'm going to use a different book for multiple points of view. So yeah, I know that the readathon people have been like, enter your books as we go along. But because I am very much mood reading and not really sticking to a TBR that I have preset, and because I'm able to move things around a little bit, because things count for multiple prompts. It doesn't count for multiple prompts in that you can't use the same book to cover multiple prompts, but I have multiple books that could work for multiple prompts. So I think I'm going to kind of hold off and maybe mid-month lock in a couple of the prompts, but yes, I think that this might be the Prancer prompt set in a place that I have never been. And if I continue right to the next book, that also has 5+ words in the title. So just wanted to let you know my thoughts on the prompts. Hello, it is Sunday evening, Sunday, December the 10th. I've had a long day. I've had a busy day. Got up early and was doing tasks and getting things done and accomplished, which all felt good to be productive. But yeah, for the most part, the main event of the day was that I went to my aunt's house and we baked some cookies. Did I remember to get any B-roll? No, I was having too much time just enjoying my visit and trying to keep track of, how many cups of flour I'd put into the mix. But I will put a couple pictures here of the cookies that we made. We made some little almond spritz trees with little sprinkles. They're super cute, and we make them every year. It's family classic favorite. And we also made peanut blossoms with the Hershey Kisses on top. We have a nice mix of dark chocolate and milk chocolate, and a few with Reese's cups for that extra peanut butter blast. And then we also cut out a number of sugar cookies to ultimately have them be decorated. I'm going to be doing that with some of my friends tomorrow in one of my book clubs. So it was a very productive day, visiting and chatting and baking, and cookie day has been a long tradition in my family. This year it got kind of broken up into sort of 2 separate cookie days, but I was still glad to go and visit and have a chance to bake cookies with my family. So I did use the drive to and from my aunt's house to listen to the audiobook of Lover Unbound, which is the fifth book in the Black Dagger Brotherhood series by J.R. Ward. I restarted the series in November. I had previously read books 1 through 4, and this is the first time that I am reading the 5th book. I am interested to see where this is going to go. I feel like this is a romance that is being set up that is like a human and a vampire don't really work together. So how are they going to make that happen? How are they going to make that work? I don't really know, especially with events that happen already in the first chunk of this book. So I am definitely intrigued. Vicious is an interesting character, and I think that his story is one that I'm eager to find out how it resolves. It definitely has just as much sort of insta love, insta connection, fated mates situation going on as previous titles, but yeah, I'm enjoying it. I am not 100% sure what prompt I'm going to use it for. I think I'm probably going to use Lover Unbound for Cupid has multiple points of view, because this book has actually almost too many points of view that we're jumping between. But just wanted to let you know of that reading update. And it's not that late. It's only, I think, 8 o'clock. So I'm going to try to get a little bit more reading done tonight, but it probably won't be an audiobook. I kind of alternate audiobooks, ebooks situation. So stay tuned, and if I don't come back with a reading update, I will definitely come back with a way to close out this vlog. So hi, okay, so I'm here to finish up the weekend vlog, which fell apart at the end, as you may have realized. But yeah, basically, I think I did update you after Sunday, but I spent Sunday baking cookies with my aunt and enjoying family time, and I was listening to Lover Unbound on my drive, and I was enjoying that. And then I was just really tired at the end of the day once I got home and was settled and everything. And then on Monday, even though I had the day off and I intended to read and relax, I ended up enjoying some time with my husband. We went out to lunch and did a little bit of shopping, and I was cleaning the house and getting prepared for the evening's activities, which was me hosting book club and us decorating all the cookies, or many of the cookies that I had baked on Sunday. So did I get any pictures of such a fun time with all my good friends that has now become a great holiday tradition? No, I did not. So yeah, Monday ended up being good but busy, and I didn't get very much more read. So super fun weekend vlog, but I'm going to wrap it up here with a weekly update, the video that I've been kind of putting out recently. And yeah, I just wanted to give you a little bit of a rundown as to how the week went. So I did finish last week Lover Revealed by J.R. Ward. This is the 4th book in the Black Dagger Brotherhood. This is a reread for me, and I listened to the audiobook, and it was good. It was just the last 25% or so that I finished during this week, and I would give it 4 stars. As I said before, this is a romance between Butch and Marissa, who Marissa's a vampire and Butch is a human, so how's that going to work out? Another major character is Vicious, and sort of how he and Butch have this sort of complicated destined relationship situation going on. It was good. The end. I also finished a holiday novella, which was From Cocktails to Sleigh Bells, which I believe I spoke about earlier in this vlog, so I'll be brief, but this is a holiday novella. The author is Wren K. Morris, and I read this on Kindle Unlimited and also really like this one. I'd give it 4 stars or so, which is weird for me, for a novella. Usually I strongly dislike novellas. But this one we follow Nicole, who is a bartender, and she, in the wee hours of Christmas morning, runs into Kris Kringle. But this Santa is a hot lumberjack, tattoos and piercings, magical Santa, and they just have instant chemistry and decide to pursue where that chemistry might lead them. And I thought it was super fun. steamy, but yet somehow still cozy. I really enjoyed the writing style and definitely plan to dive right into another book by this author that is a holiday book. But that was From Cocktails to Sleigh Bells, and I read the whole thing during this week. I did I didn't soft DNF. I hard DNF'd, I officially DNF'd a different audiobook that was for a book club this week, which was In Farleigh Field by Rhys Bowen, I think is how you pronounce the author's name. I listened to the first 20% and then I just jumped to the last 3 chapters because this to me was, I thought it was literary fiction, and this is really a cozy mystery that was masquerading as literary fiction. It was very just like pomp and British, and I felt like it was really dumb. I felt like the characters were really stupid. It was about World War II. There were spies and precocious children, and I did not really like the narration element, but I think that most of it was the actual writing style was something I couldn't stand, and I just, like I said, read the first chunk, hated it, jumped to the end just to see how it ended, and called it quits. So that was about 111 pages, 28% that I ultimately read from In Farleigh Field, and DNF'd it. Will not be going back. Currently, I am reading zero progress. I'm still at 67%. No progress made in Manacled by SenLinYu. My hold and for Butcher and Blackbird has not come in yet, so I have made zero progress on that title. Still at 41%. I am about 35% of the way into the next Black Dagger Brotherhood title, which is Lover Unbound by J.R. Ward. I'm listening to this on audiobook, and this is now new material for me. I had read books 1 through 4 and did a reread in the fall leading into this winter, and now I'm into new material for me. This is Vicious's book, which is good because he's a major character from book 4, and he didn't really seem to be happy at the end of book 4, so I'm kind of glad this is his book. But also, he seems to be falling for this human doctor named Jane, but like vampires and humans don't mix. So I'm intrigued to see where that's going to go. It definitely is the whole fated mates insta love situation, and he is basically just 100% dismissive of his feelings now that Jane is in the picture, his feelings toward another character now that Jane is in the picture, which I don't super love, but I do want to see where this goes. I am about 35% of the way through, which is around page 185, because this is a long book at 528 pages, like over 100 pages longer than the other titles so far in Black Dagger Brotherhood, I think. I am also currently reading the audiobook of If You Would Have Told Me by John Stamos. I'm about 25% of the way through this audiobook, which is narrated by the author. And this is his memoir, and it's just kind of rambling and cute, and I know John Stamos most prominently as Uncle Jesse, as I grew up on Full House, or it was around, it was on a lot when I was a little kid. So yeah, I have never in my life managed to finish a memoir, so we shall see if this one breaks that mold and happens to be my first, but I'm not really holding my breath. So yeah, that is a quick weekly update. If you have read any of these titles or have anything to say about the vlog portion of this video, please feel free to leave a comment down below. I appreciate you making it this far, and yeah, I will probably be coming to you soon with, I don't know, maybe some Christmas content, maybe some end of year content. I'm not sure. Let me know down in the comments if there's something you want to see from me. I think I'm going to be doing a video very briefly on all of the titles I have DNF'd so far this year. But that might come in January because I always leave room to DNF more, and we're not even halfway through the month yet. So thanks so much for watching my video, and I will see you next time. Bye.